The saint we honor today must be one of the most celebrated. It's the stuff of which plays and films are made of. And when he died, a martyr, in his cathedral at Canterbury in 1170, the news spread throughout, and for years they continued to debate what was at issue. And in manuscripts, in stained glass windows, in baptismal fonts, there are pictures of Becket, from Scandinavia to Armenia. It is a life of struggle, I would say, inner struggles, before there were struggles with the king, Henry II, chiefly. He obviously was marked out to rise high, and he did. As a young man, he entered the household of the Archbishop of Canterbury, the highest religious authority in England then, and was sent to study law at Bologna and Auxerre. Came back and became a personal friend of the king, government being more personal in those days, for good and bad, less institutional, you might say. And the king made him chancellor, and soon after he became Archbishop of Canterbury. But then the inner struggles became more evident. He took on an extremely ascetic personal life. It was discovered afterwards he was wearing a hair shirt. And the collisions with the king, whose conscience he was meant to keep as chancellor, started. And they reached such a point that he went into exile to France, where for some years he lived as a monk in one of the monasteries, purifying himself for what he began to sense would be an ultimate struggle. Somehow, with the involvement of the Pope, who also happened to be in France some of the time, the quarrel with Henry was patched up, and he came back to his cathedral in Canterbury, but very briefly, because neither would give way. Neither the king nor the archbishop would give way on a number of issues. And for a long time afterwards, and even today, people discuss what was the theology involved. What was English law? What was canon law? But gradually, neither king nor archbishop would give way, and no doubt each in his own way simplified the issues. Expressing his rage one day, it was taken as a signal by some of the knights that the king would wish Becket removed. And so 4 of them, this afternoon on this day in 1170, went into the cathedral and murdered Becket. By then, his inner and outer struggles have been refined to one essential point. He said, and we have endless testimonies of people who knew Becket, people who were present at his martyrdom. He said, "I die for the name of Jesus and the defense of the church." All the intricacies of theology and law were resolved in that, the name of Jesus and the defense of the church. Within 3 years he was canonized. The year after, the King of England, Henry II, did public penance at the shrine of Henry II. And a huge devotion arose to Becket, and Canterbury was a massive center of pilgrimage thereafter. The struggle then, each in our own scale, each in our own ambit, continues to be faithful to Jesus and defend his church.